Hey, welcome to Trap Souls Podcast. I'm here with Debbie from Spirit Hunters of Ontario. How you doing, Debbie?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing good. So I was telling her right before we started that it's been a pain in the butt trying to get someone from Canada on my show. I don't know the reason. Um, Maybe because our president wanted to make you the 51st state, so they're just avoiding us. I don't know the reason, but I appreciate you coming on.
Oh, no problem. I love to talk about the paranormal. So,
Yeah. So I reached out to your group and someone said, "Oh, you got to talk to Debbie." So I'm like, "Okay, how do I get a hold of Debbie?" So finally, we got a hold of each other, and it worked out in the end. So we'll start with generic questions here.
sure.
How'd you get into the paranormal?
I got into actually investigating when I met one of our team, like one of our founding team members, Carrie, years ago when we first started working together, like 3 or 4 years, more than 4 years ago, probably 5, 6 years ago. And then she was telling me her mom, Judy, had all the equipment and stuff, and they wanted to start a team. And then we kind of got talking, and I'm a medium. So we went on this little adventure in a cemetery, and I was like pointing things out and telling them things and finding graves. And I'm like, oh, there's somebody named Edith. And then I found her grave and stuff like that. And then they're like, let's start a team. And I'm like, I'm in. I'm really intrigued about the equipment because I've been a medium pretty much all my life. So I've seen it on TV. I want to know how it really worked, if it really worked, and stuff like that. So it's been fun.
So medium wise, like when did you realize that you had that gift?
When I was a kid and I woke up one night and I saw a lady standing beside my bed, and I thought I was dreaming, and I closed my eyes and I opened them again and she was still standing there. So she kind of scared the bejesus out of me.
Oh yeah, was it someone you knew or?
No, I think she was with the house.
Okay.
Yeah. And then since then I could always like sense things about people and pick up things like that. So
Did it take a while for you to like hone your skills, like
oh,
open
yeah.
yourself up?
Well, yeah, because like I didn't when you're a kid, you don't really want to tell people that you
Yeah.
do stuff like that. It can be social death, especially back then. So it was, yeah. And then as I got older, it became a pretty cool party trick. I go to a party and just start talking to me. Oh, your granny's there, and she looks like this, and she's telling me this to tell you, and they'd be like, ah. So it was kind of fun that way.
Now, I'll ask this because I ask all the medium psychics on here. Was this passed down? Because it seems a lot have been passed down.
Absolutely, yes. My grandmother, I had a great aunt, and my mom, and my daughter is also a medium. So
Okay.
it seems to be passed down through
Yeah.
generations. But I believe it's something that maybe everybody can hone and work on and do. It sometimes it's made out to be a lot harder than it is. It just
Yeah.
kind of trusting your instincts, which we're told not to, really.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a big believer that everybody is like sensitive.
Absolutely.
It's just how sensitive do you want to be? How much do
Yeah.
you want to open yourself up to it? And I'm sure you found out it's hard to close too, because you don't want that open all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes it is. I can, I just yeah, but it is. It's that learning to control it is a bit difficult at times for sure, especially in some situations, and I notice, like, if I'm somewhere crowded, it's really hard to shut it down because I find I have things coming at me from every which direction. So, yeah.
Sorry to talk about the medium stuff so much because it always intrigues me.
I don't mind talking about
If
it.
you would have met me 8 months ago, no,
Not
we
so
wouldn't be
much.
talking about this. Um, but I've had a lot on the show. I'm very intrigued by it. So how hard is it to single someone out when everything's coming at you? Like, I'm sure you have a lot of spirits like that want to get their voice heard.
It's
Like,
usually just the one that's the loudest and the most repetitive. So if I hear the same name over and over again, if I am drawn to this one person or whatever, and then usually it goes from there. It's usually the most intense one first, and then along the line until they're heard.
Until they're heard. I mean, do you ever like say like, "Hey, one at a time, we'll get to you,"
Yeah.
like type
Oh, yeah.
thing?
Yeah.
Have you ever contacted a family, like one of their family members said, "I got a message"?
Yeah. Yeah. This is a really strange story. So, I got tickets to see this band in this big bar in Toronto, and it was like a huge place. And I really wanted to go. So me and my younger sister and my husband and her husband, they all went, and we're having a great time and had a beer. I go to the washroom, and they have a lady in there, like a washroom attendant. And I'm like, oh, she's a very nice lady, blah, blah, blah. Said hi to her, gave her a little tip, whatever. Came back out to my table, and her grandmother would not leave me alone till I went back in and told Regina this and told her that. And I can't remember what all I told her, and she just started crying. She couldn't believe it. She's like, my granny raised me. And I described this woman to a T. And it was really weird. And she's like, can I have your number? And no, it wasn't one off. She just had a message and she had to tell you. And it was so weird because I'm there and it's like one of my favorite bands, and she would not.
How many paranormal's on? It's a group I work with a lot. So she has a question.
Sure.
I don't know if you can see it.
No, sometimes they do wake me up, and a lot of times they come into dreams and stuff like that. I don't know whether it's spirits or menopause, but I've been having a horrible time sleeping the last while. But I've also felt, in talking to a lot of other people, we're feeling this weird shift in energies right now in the world, and I don't know what it is, and I don't understand it, and it's making things weird.
So she feels your pain.
Yeah. I don't know. Am I crazy? I don't know. Yeah. Don't ask my husband that.
No. Let's get into your team a little bit.
Sure.
So you said you joined that team. Now, what do you have, 6 or 7 on your team?
There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 of us. Yeah.
6. So
Yeah.
how did that team come about? Like,
It started with the 3 of us, and then our team leader, Judy, had another friend, Jamie, our only male member, and they had investigated on another team years ago. So she asked him to join us. He wasn't doing anything. And then I asked my daughter, my grown-up daughter, to join us because Judy was looking for more members so that when we're doing a larger location, we can kind of spread out, right? And then we asked a friend of mine who's also another medium, but she's an animal communicator and an author, to join us. So that's how we ended up with the 6 of us. So there's Judy, her daughter, Carrie, me, my daughter, Holly, Jamie, and June.
okay. So it seems like a good mix, though.
Yeah, we all get along really well. Sometimes we'll do things outside of the investigations just for fun, just, to kind of strengthen our team bonds, kind of thing.
So talk about equipment. Since you being a medium, what equipment do you like using? Because your Facebook page says that you guys like using traditional and some modern.
All right. Our modern equipment, of course, we have the REM pods, we have all the cameras, we have the motion sensors, the laser grids, and Ovilus, the spirit box. We do a lot of Estes work with the spirit box. And as far as old school equipment, I use dowsing rods. I have tarot cards. We use pendulums. We use different methods, like Judy has a pendulum in a sealed jar, and we'll put that out and try and get responses with that. Just different things like that.
So you're talking like a pendulum, like encased in a jar?
Yep, you just attach it to the lid like a mason jar, So it just hangs down, and then you put it on a surface where it's not going to move. And then we try to get responses with it. Because then you wait, that way, there's no outside interference.
That's very interesting.
And it's easy, like it's really easy to do. So
Yeah, I never thought about that, but because I've seen people like at other places had to pendulum on like the hook.
yeah, we've tried that one, but it's not like in the jar, at least, you're not getting any drafts or anything like
Yeah.
that. It's closed up in a jar.
Yeah. How may take a note? That's what you got to make next.
Yeah.
No, I mean, that's very interesting. Have you ever like, because you're a medium, I mean, obviously you hone in on your senses during investigations. Has there ever been a time where someone's there, like, I don't really believe you, but you have equipment out, like I said, we'll just say REM pod,
Yeah.
and you can say, "Hey, someone's standing over there," and they're like, "Yeah, right." Then if the REM pod goes off, they're like, "Oh shit!" Like, it's
Yeah, we have had things like that happen with some of the public investigations. What I usually get the most hits with, and it's really weird, are the dowsing rods. We had a professional grave dowser come and teach us all how to use dowsing rods. And we were doing this one public investigation, and this fellow was saying, "You're moving them." And I'm like, "Okay." And then I handed them to him and I said, "Here, you try." And as soon as he grabbed them, they just went wham and hit him in the face. Like, oh, I guess they're not that easy to control, you know.
yeah.
So
I- yeah.
yeah, or the spirit box, the Ovulus, we get great, like sometimes we get really great responses with it when people don't believe, and then the Ovulus will
Yeah.
speak and say something to do with what we're talking about or what we're asking, have an intelligent response.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of seems like nowadays, I mean, word banks like Ovulus and the PS device is starting to go on a wayside because a lot of people don't believe them.
Yeah. And they do create a lot of noise and chatter.
Yeah.
But when they are actually giving you words that are responses to what you're asking, then you kind of suspend the disbelief a little bit for that, because otherwise it would just be random, 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 random.
Right.
When it gives you ask for a name and it gives you a name,
Yeah. I mean, my whole thing with those, I mean, not a huge believer in them, but it can open communication.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, even if it's not real,
Hmm.
like it could still spark an interest to the spirits and open a communication that way.
Yeah,
So
and the same with the spirit box too.
yeah,
Like we try and use the spirit box on AM radio because there are basically no AM stations left up here. So it doesn't get like 2-3 syllable hits as it's scanning through the stations, right?
yeah.
So during our public investigations, we do get a lot of interest in the Estes spirit box stuff. People absolutely love doing that, and some people have been absolutely frightened by it.
I love the spirit box. That's like my go-to
Yeah,
when stuff's not going. Spirits are quiet. They seem to come over to spirit box.
yeah.
Um, Obviously you take credit for the spirit box. I mean, it does work,
Hmm.
but it also takes a lot of practice to
Yeah,
understand what they're saying.
it does.
Um,
And if you have a portal box, it's a little bit easier, but it's still not quite,
yeah, it takes an ear.
it
Like you
does.
have to have the ear for it and the practice for it. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
a big believer in it. I do Estes a lot. I mean, Alme does Estes a lot. Um, but people have to understand that you're hearing a voice over radio channels
Hmm.
and not the radio channel. A lot of people think that it's like Transformers,
Oh, yeah.
that they're manipulating the words of the radio stations, and it's not. When you hear a whole sentence over like 4 different channels in the same voice,
Yeah, they're not. Yeah,
it's kind of
exactly.
freaky. It's kind of freaky sometimes. I mean,
Yeah, and that's what freaks people out about it, or they'll hear somebody laughing. Like
yeah,
we've had people on our public investigations just whip the headphones off and go, "I just heard somebody laughing on there." So, and that where, that's definitely not like one whole bunch of radio stations with a bunch of people laughing on them at the same time.
Yeah. That's a good question. I haven't even thought about this.
Um, I don't think it is. I don't think it is similar to the spirit box. What I get anyway, it might not be true to what any other medium gets. What I get are I can get pictures, I can get impressions, I can see words, or I'll get names, you know.
Okay.
So
All right, let's talk Canada here. I
okay.
posted something earlier today, like Canada paranormal. Like no one talks about it. We talked a little bit before. There's a lot of history in Canada.
Mhm.
Why isn't Canada a big paranormal hotspot? How many teams are up in Canada?
There's actually quite a few. You'd be surprised. Um, there are quite a few here. Um, I I know of at least 3 in our general area of Southern Ontario, and then there's
Okay.
to get into the cities, yeah, there are quite a few.
You're Ontario. It's built up pretty good, or in like the 90s and 80s.
Yeah.
It's just still a lot of historical buildings up there.
Yeah, there are. What we kind of focus on, we like to go into museums and stuff like that, so, some people will go, like, there's an abandoned mental hospital a couple hours from here, some people who do stuff like that. Um, as far as it goes, like, a lot of places that we're finding now are becoming investigative hotspots. The owners of these buildings are now charging exorbitant fees to get in there. You guys probably find the same thing.
Yeah.
Um, so it's getting harder to find places to investigate where, it doesn't cost an arm and a leg to get into, or that other people haven't been in there and mucked everything up. That's
Yeah.
another thing that's kind of
I mean,
worrying.
that's one thing down in the United States is I kind of like a little iffy about is because a lot of spots are popping up. I'm
Mhm.
not saying they're not paranormal, but are they doing it for the money? Or are they doing it because to preserve history and memories?
Yeah, you gotta wonder, right?
Yeah.
As the owners of these places, are they just doing it to say they have a haunted house, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, I've talked to a lot of owners, not a lot on the show, but outside the show too, that they don't make money off these places. They preserve the
Yeah.
building.
That's kind of why we like museums too, because the money that we do spend to get into them is going back into
Yeah.
preservation of their collections, of their buildings, stuff like that. So, um, and sometimes it's kind of cool because the objects have attachments, so you can kind of navigate around that as well.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you that. Like when you go to a museum, I mean, obviously I hate I hate saying historical land because all land is historical.
Right. Right.
There's a new building on it.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
do you find that, a lot of stuff, spirits are attached to something or attached to the land?
Um, it can be a bit of both. Um, we did an investigation at a museum that had this huge building with old farm equipment in it. Excuse me. And I had this fellow who owned this old thresher and had restored it, following me around all night telling me about it, which was kind of funny. But other places, like, I can feel the attachments to the land. Like, sometimes you can get indigenous attachments to the land, and I can connect with those spirits as well.
So, well, if I was going to ask here, but I mean, attached to land because a lot of people like new buildings go up.
Yeah.
There can be spirits in that new building that's attached to the land itself
Absolutely.
because a lot of people don't like investigating newer buildings or newer houses. They're
Mm.
like, can't be haunted. It's brand new. But the earth is not brand new.
No, and, one thing that we have learned through our our friend who does the professional grave dowsing, he has traveled all over Canada, and in his lengthy career, finding lost cemeteries using dowsing rods. So he told us that there are a lot of burials that people have no idea they're there. You could have one in your front yard, you don't know, because back in the day, the settlers couldn't afford church burials if there was a church. They couldn't afford caskets, especially when, say, something like yellow fever went through. They just had to bury them in the front yard, kind of thing, you know. Yeah. So knowing that kind of changes things too when you investigate a property.
Yeah, everybody always talks about like in your Indian burial grounds and stuff. I'm like, I guarantee within 100 meters of me, there's someone buried.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like he even told me I found 2 burials in my front yard with my dowsing rod. So, and he said a lot of people figure on these properties they buried him at the back, which is wrong. They buried him at the front so future generations could pay their respects without trespassing on the land, which a lot of people don't know.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I never heard that. Yes, I have. I have been in contact with an elemental, and it scared the living daylights out of me. It just felt very old and very large, and very, I don't even know how to explain it. To me, this elemental seeing us as if we were just barely insects on this earth. We were here it had been there so long that we were inconsequential to it, and it was protecting this property. Yeah, it freaked me right out. I'm like, okay.
Now, do you think elementals are more protective of property?
I think they're earth protectors.
Okay.
In general, and this was this was again a museum with that farm thing, implement shed and everything. It was a farm, but it was also like a forest there, and it had been an indigenous land for hundreds and hundreds of years before these people settled it. And it was close to the lake, which is also like another big area where spirits can energize. But yeah, I felt it in the forest watching us.
So you're talking about like indigenous people. I mean, Canada has a lot of lakes.
Yeah.
A lot of, I mean, you have, Ontario, but outside of Ontario, there's a lot of woods. Mm-hmm. Do you guys ever go out to these places and investigate maybe the lost little towns?
We haven't so much yet. We were going to go to a conservation area that had been a mill in the 1700s, not far from here, but we had set up with them to go and do it. And then they elected a whole new board of directors who said, no, you can't do that here. But I was really interested in going there. They had a working sawmill that had been built in the late 1700s, and it was still there, the original building, and they preserved it. So there were woods all around there, and it's a conservation area. When I was a kid in grade 6, we did an overnight camping trip in school. And I remember getting up during the night out of my tent to go to visit the little outhouse and seeing redcoat soldiers in the woods. I didn't even know what they were. I'm scurrying back to my tent. Yeah, there's people out there.
Let's talk about that. Like 1700s, like even if there's nothing out there, it'd just be unbelievable to walk that property. The history.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And even if it's not like an intelligent, I believe the soldiers were probably residual because the skirmish of the War of 1812 happened there at some point because it was near Port Rowan. Even residual is interesting, right? Like why are you stuck in that loop again and again?
Well, and it tells a story too.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you got to piece the story together, but the more times you go, you're going to piece that story together.
Yeah.
No, we just went to Mansfield, OSR, Ohio State Reformatory. I did not get anything not even a feeling there. But it's
Okay.
such a historical building that it was just great to be there.
Mhm.
And all these people, like paranormal investigators, want the dark spirit or whatever. I'm not about that. I like the history. And if the history can reveal its story, I'm cool. If it doesn't, I'm still good because I got to see a pretty sweet building. So,
Yeah, we're very respectful of locations. I don't believe in taunting anybody or anything, like, I look at it this way, I wouldn't go up to a stranger on the street and demand that they talk to me, especially
mhm.
walk into their house and demand that they talk to you, and, we're very strict on that rule when we do our public stuff at Cottonwood Mansion. We say, "You do not disrespect the spirits here, you don't demand they talk to you, they're not trained monkeys," If
Yeah.
they wanna talk, they'll talk, if they don't, they don't. That's, the way it is.
So, do you guys have one place you guys like to investigate more than any other?
Yeah, we're our we call it kind of like our home base. It's a mansion museum here in Haldeman County called Cottonwood. It was one of the first mansions built here, and we kind of stumbled onto this place. Judy found it online, and then contacted them and asked them if we could do an investigation there. And nobody had ever done one before, and they were like, "Sure, come on in." So we ended up doing our first investigation, got some video, and we've gotten lots of EVPs and things like that from there. And then we just kept going back, and now they asked us to run paranormal events for them to help
Nice.
them raise money because it's a private charitable foundation. They don't get any government funding, so everything we can do to help keep the doors open. But it's got some interesting history to it.
No, I only ask that because is there a not so nice spirit there?
No,
Okay.
they're all
Because we
fine. Yeah.
because we have Madison Seminary, but right by me, right down the street from me. I've investigated that many times, and there's one not so nice spirit in the
Mhm.
attic. And you always talk about taunting. That's the only guy I will call out.
Yeah.
They call him the doctor. And I'm not a big believer in taunting. I'm not going to go into some new place saying, come get me, whatever.
Yeah.
But this dude, I call him out all the time because he messes with women all the time.
Oh,
And when you mess with women, I'm going up. Like, let's go. That's game on for me.
yeah. That's
Um,
fair enough.
yeah. But just like real life,
Yeah.
someone's messing with you, messing with you, messing with you, you're going to step up.
You're gonna call a bully
Yeah.
a bully.
Yeah. Well, this guy decided to step up last time to me. He didn't do anything to me, but he made me rethink my thoughts. I mean,
Oh,
I was like, I'm going to go back there again. I don't know if we're going to have words, but
he's gonna
um,
figure something out.
yeah, you got to figure something out. It was kind of funny. I mean, I was locked up in there for about 45 minutes to an hour, and my tune had changed.
Wow.
Like I was like calling him out, like, "Listen, dude, I'm here. Let's mess with me." It's my 15th time. By the end, I was like, "Hey, dude, we're friends. We're cool. Like, hey, I'm just messing with you. Like, no problem." But yeah, the energy there. I don't know if he got the courage to step up to me because
Mhm.
he usually never does to a man, or there's rumors there's another entity up there.
Oh dear.
So we'll have to figure that out and see what's going on up there.
Sometimes do you find when you do a location multiple times, each time you go back, they become more comfortable with you and reveal more and more of themselves to you?
Yeah, the issue with Madison is that he brings a lot of stuff in there from outside. And I
Okay.
think he's bringing other spirits in or attracting other spirits.
Ah.
But I also believe it's a very popular place. It's
Mhm.
booked all year. I'm a big believer, and you might be able to attest to this. If you ask enough questions, spirits are going to come
Oh yeah. Yeah.
because they want to be heard. So I don't know. It's him bringing stuff in, what's causing other spirits to come, or people asking questions.
Maybe. Maybe. We found with Cottonwood as the more we go back there, the more different family members speak to me, and I'm picking up more and more of the family story. the stuff that isn't written in the history books necessarily, like they didn't write down, it was more secretive family stuff.
Yeah.
And then as I'm talking about it to a curator or whoever, they go, yeah, I've heard that from family members that this person was like that or this person was like that. I'm like, okay, well, the story runs deep. The more they trust, I believe, the more they tell us what's going on or what had gone on, I guess, not what's going on so much.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's family members coming forward. I don't know. I mean, I kind of wish it was the same spirits there,
Mm-hmm.
so I can get the story straight and keep their memories alive.
Yeah.
But it kind of seems like different spirits are showing up there, so it's kind of hard to like piece together
what they're there about, and if people are bringing those spirits in with them and just kind of leaving them there. I don't know.
All right, let's talk about that. Ouija boards.
Yes.
Mass and Seminary. There's a rumor there that someone did a Ouija board, brought a spirit in, and didn't close it right. So that spirit is trapped there. I'm not a big believer in Ouija boards.
Honestly, we have one, and it is also a thing we put out for public investigate, like the Victorian style paranormal investigation, because that's who came up with this thing, is the Victorians, right?
Yeah.
I am and I'm not. I don't really prefer to use it because I was always warned against it by my mother. She had one and she said, don't ever use it. But it's quite possible, because if people don't know, even if I believe you can use anything, and if you don't know what you're doing, like how many people saged their houses wrong and trap spirits inside rather than getting them out, Yeah. That's quite possible.
I mean, I think Ouija boards are a piece of cardboard or a piece of wood.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe like the figure 8 to know or whatever, or close it. I don't think that matters. I mean, if a spirit is strong enough to come through that, they're going to come through.
Yeah.
And they don't have to come through that board. I think your actions of asking is enough.
Yeah. And they don't have to leave when you tell them if they don't want to either.
Yeah. I mean,
you're not strong enough, I guess.
Yeah. So that's my point on Ouija boards, but I think they are cool. I think the history is cool. I would love to know who actually said you have to do a figure 8.
Yeah, that I don't understand. I don't understand that, because I feel like it just kind of, it's a ritual. I guess, again, it's a ritual. Somebody came up with this ritual way to use it, and that's what it is. So there's so many things that are rituals, right?
Yeah, I mean, it might work. I don't know, but I think your intentions of using it is more powerful than the board itself.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It wouldn't happen without them, right?
Right.
I agree with that 100%.
I mean, seances, concept is the same thing. You don't have a Ouija board there, but your intentions are the same. They call it spirit.
And energy, like an energy circle, you can call them in.
Man has another question.
I do, if they know how. Some of them don't understand that they can come and go as they please. I think spirits can come and go as they please. I think some understand that and some don't. And some are trapped through their own doing. Like they don't understand. A lot of the trapped souls, I think, they just don't know they're dead. They're just trying to get people's attention any way they can. So
I just want to point out that she said trap souls.
Yes.
That's it. Everybody always asks why my podcast is called Trap Souls. Then they always say trap souls during the podcast.
There you go. You have a little camera there.
Yeah, there you go.
Said it again.
Said it again. No, I mean, it's funny because people always ask why you call trap souls. Well, because the places we investigate, I believe some of them are trapped there.
Yeah.
And that's how I came up with it. And they're like, that doesn't make sense. And halfway through the podcast, they're kind of like trap souls. I'm like,
there it is.
There you go. There's your sign right there. It's big. right next to me. I don't know. It's funny. Um, no, so how many spirits do you think they actually know they're dead?
I think the majority do. I think it's not that common that there are ones spirits that don't know they're dead. And I think that a lot of times when people are having um, I also do house clearings with a friend of mine, and
Mhm.
anytime we get called to do those, usually we end up finding spirits that don't know they're dead, and they're trying to get people's attention any way they can. So that can involve touching, that can involve scratching, that can involve, and they're like, but I was so scared. And I said, all right, if you could see people and you are really scared and you don't know what's going on, and would you do anything you could to get their attention if they were ignoring you? You know, and
Yeah.
once you give that bit of information to people, they're not quite as scared. They're like, oh, that kind of makes sense.
Um, so how many spirits do you think want to be here and that they're not trapped?
The ones who come back and forth, like
Okay.
when we do investigations and they come and talk to us, like Cottonwood, those spirits aren't trapped. They're not. They want to come and tell us their history, or they want to communicate to a family member. They're not trapped.
Okay. No, I'm just curious. I mean, we're poking the medium here, so I mean,
I hope I can answer your questions.
no, you are because I love information because I no one knows how my mind works. Like it's way out there. So how many knows my mind works kind of crazy here, but no, because I mean I think there are spirits that are stuck here,
Mhm.
and there are spirits that want to get their story out. And I'm a big believer in memories
Mhm.
because I tell this on every episode. There's only two things guaranteed: life and death. There's only one thing most people are scared of, and it's being forgotten.
Absolutely.
So are we maybe some of these spirits are trapped here because their stories are not straight?
Possibly. Yeah. Yeah, that could be a good way of looking at it. My friend and I recently cleared a place where there was a spirit of a young man who had died in a fire in a property adjacent. And I don't know, there were suspicious stances, ugh, me speak good, surrounding his death. And I believe that he found this person because she was sensitive, and she said he grabbed the back of my neck the other night, and I ran out of the apartment. I was so scared. And I'm like, first of all, don't need to be scared. He's just trying to get your attention. Well, why? Because he knows you can sense him. That's why. So, I mean, I think he was trapped because there were things surrounding his death that were suspicious, and also I don't think he really even knew how to proceed or where to go, or he was even dead, and we were able to cross him over.
Nice.
Yeah, sometimes it's just tragic circumstances, and
Yeah.
they're gone so quickly that they don't understand what happened.
Or they know and they just want you to get the story straight
Yeah,
too.
absolutely. If they have a story to tell it, and if there's a truth that needs to come out, absolutely.
Yeah.
Sure.
Um, so let's get back into your group here because
Okay.
the show's supposed to be about your group and we're just kind of
I
hounding you.
know.
Um, what other places up in Canada, like Ontario?
We're going to a place this spring called Aukmar House in Hamilton, and it's this huge old mansion that is now owned by the city. That used to be a mansion for a family, I think, and then it became a convent. And I heard different stories, like it was also part because it's across the road from a mental hospital. It was part of the mental hospital and stuff like this. And it's a very interesting looking house. So I'm looking forward to that one because they don't let a lot of people in there. So that's going to be fun. And we have another museum mansion kind of thing in about an hour from here in Tilsonburg that we have to go and scout out to get in there and see. And I don't know if we'd be the first ones to get in there and investigate or not, but they're going to let us in. So Judy just sends out emails to different places that looks interesting and just sees who gets back to us. We've investigated an old theater in Port Dover a couple times, the Lighthouse Theater, which used to be a fire hall and a town hall. And it was a lot of fun to do because it was a big space. Where else have we done? Oh, we've done a Baptist church, which there was an interesting one because their first pastor was there and he was holding a lot of frightened people in there. I could find sometimes this is going to sound really, how do I say this without sounding blasphemous? Sometimes with these pastors, especially like the Baptists, they're about the control of their flock and not necessarily saving people. He was more about the control of the flock and not necessarily saving people. So we just got locations like that if we can get in anywhere like that. Churches are good because they hold a lot of energy, I find.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people don't think like churches. I mean, nowadays they do, but back in the day, they're like churches is like, Savior, God. I'm like, a lot of bad stuff happen in churches. I mean,
especially Catholic churches.
I
That's
mean,
not even a joke. Like I have seen some nasty spirits in Catholic churches that have gone for funerals and stuff.
a lot of people talk about that, like, especially like Catholic churches and everything like that. Why would something? And it seems kind of. I mean, you can answer this, but there's always seems something evil in churches.
Mm-hmm.
Do they try to like take it over because they're trying to prove themselves, or
are they lingering? Because churches, to me, are places of control. That's what I got from this pastor. And once he died, he lost control of the flock. He wanted to regain that control. So
do you believe the pastor came back?
Oh yeah.
That's interesting.
And with that investigation, we were getting all kinds of REM pod hits and things like that. It was really interesting.
Because we do like different asylums, poorhouses, prisons. I mean, there was always someone in control. And back in the day, it wasn't good control.
No, it wasn't.
It was a power trip.
Yeah.
So do they come back because they still want to be in control?
That was the source of their power. Yeah. I think they just stayed there because that was where they were most powerful in their lives.
Well, because I think if they move on, they're nobody. I mean, they're somebody, but they're nobody.
But they're just clinging to that lifestyle that they knew and that power that they had. And a lot of times they're afraid to let go of it because they don't know what's going to happen, right?
Yeah.
And you would think that a pastor would know what's going to happen. He should be the one to like kind of go, oh yeah, okay, I'm going to meet my, Jesus or whatever.
Yeah.
But sometimes they don't. They're afraid. And maybe they're afraid of the reckoning that happen. Fear is a big thing with churches too. There's a lot of fear in them. Like souls who are afraid. We do cemeteries occasionally too. Like we'll walk through cemeteries and turn equipment on and do EVP sessions and stuff, which has been fun.
Yeah. Almay wants to know if you have any castles up there.
Yeah, there's one in Hamilton, there's one in Toronto. I think that one's Castle Loma. And there is one in Hamilton as well. Yeah. Like not medieval castles or anything, but they were built by very rich, powerful families for sure.
Canada's interesting to me because you have like everybody talks about the Vikings, Nova Scotia, all that. And I'm a big believer that's where they first landed. I think the first like settlements in North America, we're the Vikings.
Absolutely.
I mean, they always want to say Columbus and all that stuff, but I really believe that the Vikings were the first ones here.
It's been proven.
Yeah, it's been proven, but no one wants to believe it.
No. Well, I kind of believe it.
I mean, I believe it. That's what I'm saying it, but
yeah, that kind of stuff would be interesting to investigate.
yeah, I mean, it'll be like Nova Scotia has a huge history. I mean, obviously, I watched that show, whatever that one is, Curse of Oak Island.
We just my husband PVRs it we just watched this week's.
I'm way behind on it because I kind of got like me and my mom used to watch it all the time. And she's like, wow, they found another nail. I'm like,
That's well,
but
there
it's weird.
to date
But
now.
but like paranormal,
Yeah,
one little hint makes
Yeah.
the whole investigation.
yeah,
You get one name that makes the whole investigation 8 hours. I got a name. I'm cool with that.
yeah. Or
You
one
know?
little snippet of anything, you know.
Yeah.
It
So
is.
like you're still watching a show, so
Well, he is.
yeah, you watch it too. Don't lie. I mean, they found an ox tail or something. I don't know what they found there. So, but it's interesting about that whole history there.
Yeah,
So that
it is.
history carries over to the Crusades and everything like that. They say
Hmm.
they had to pour it into Canada.
Yeah, how far did it reach? How far did
Yeah,
it? Yeah, absolutely.
no, that's cool. Amai says we need a road trip to Toronto now.
There's also a couple of old haunted prisons. There's one up in Kingston, which used to house like the worst of the worst, the murderers. And then there's one in a little town called Goderich that they call the Gal, where they used to do hangings. And actually, in our county here in Haldimand, Norfolk, there used to be hangings at the local courthouse, but they won't let us in there. I don't know why. We would love to investigate that building.
So I'm just catching up. So my daughter called me. Yeah, I mean, it kind of seems like United States, they have a lot of poorhouses, little asylums, a lot of stuff compared to Canada.
There was a poorhouse here locally. It was demolished, and they had just rediscovered the graveyard not too long ago. So we were thinking about getting over there and checking it out and seeing if we could communicate with anybody. They're basically unmarked graves, just a big burial. Yeah, there and again, there were lots of hospitals. I find also nursing, like old nursing home kind of places, to be pretty active too. Um, when they let you in, that's the thing. There's a lot of places they
Yeah.
won't let you in here. If they're owned by the government or whatever, they're not going to let you in.
Do you think the reason for that is because they don't want to know?
No, I think it's a liability issue.
Okay.
They've let the places go to ruin, and if somebody hurts themselves, or and then if somebody goes in and says, "Yeah, we found something," then the place is swamped with people
Yeah.
trying to investigate, and then it becomes a bigger liability issue kind of thing. Because not everybody does things safely.
No, I mean, definitely not. And right. I mean, so we have a poorhouse in Ohio, and they had unmarked graves there. And they actually had to bury the people straight up and down. That's how many people died.
Oh my gosh.
So they just stacked them straight up and down.
Uh-huh.
And there used to be a lot of energy there until it was a TV show that actually bought a marker, create a memory for those people.
Mm-hmm.
And the energy kind of calmed down. I don't know if that's mind over matter, but it worked. So
That kind of makes sense, though. They just want to be acknowledged. We also here locally, we have a residential school, an Indigenous residential school that was operating for almost 200 years. They will not let investigators in there. The indigenous people have done their own ceremonies, and I think Snipe might have done an investigation in there themselves because this place had a really bad reputation, and they're looking for graves and all of that. That opens up another can of worms because two of our members, Judy and Carrie, are indigenous, so they don't want to do anything like that because of the proximity to their family, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of emotional for them. But those places are anywhere where basically there was a lot of suffering.
Yes. I mean, back in the day, there was no rules,
No,
no
there were,
laws. Like we said, someone in charge, power trips.
yeah.
So
And they were free to do whatever they wanted, you know. There was no accountability either.
yeah. And I think it was like a good concept in the beginning, especially
Mhm.
poorhouses, then just turn to crap
Yeah.
because of the power. I mean, you're talking like, hey, we can put 100 people in here. Next thing you know, there's 800 people.
Yeah. And it's made for 100. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's why the prisons were too
Yeah,
back in the day.
absolutely.
So
I have a question for you. Have you guys ever done any war battlegrounds like Gettysburg or anything like that?
I have not. I don't know if Almay has or not. Um, I want to. I think Gettysburg, if you're talking about residual energy,
Yeah.
that is the king of residual energy.
That place just fascinates me every time I see one of the videos that somebody's taken there, even in the daytime.
Yeah.
And it just seems to be the same thing playing out over and over again, which is wild.
And let's talk about that stone tape theory. Have you heard of that? I'm guessing you have.
Possibly.
So it's kind of like, to me, it's kind of like residual.
Yeah, okay.
It's energy trapped in a stone or an object.
Oh, okay.
That keeps playing like a recorder. I'm not a big believer in that. I believe the energy just goes about what it is. I don't think it's trapped in a stone. But a lot of people are talking about stone tape theory now.
I don't know how it could be, but maybe I'm just ignorant about all of this. That's, yeah, no.
Yeah. So let's talk about residual energy compared to intelligent energy.
Okay.
What's percentage?
Ooh, that's a good one. I would have to say the higher percentage would be intelligent energy that I've encountered. I can only speak personally.
Yeah.
But it depends on the location, I suppose, and the events that happen there.
Yeah.
You
I
know?
mean, I think you're talking battlefield, a lot of blood spelt, a lot of energy there that was
Yeah.
left there. And I think that's where a lot of residual. I'm a big believer residual energy is not intelligent.
No,
I think they moved on. It's just they kind of left a
it's like
remnants of
an echo.
themselves.
I liken
Yeah.
it to an echo of
Yeah.
the past events.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of places like the Tower of London and infamous places like that in Europe have a lot of residual energy. Like they see the white lady coming down the stairs. And then they see the white lady coming down the stairs, you know,
Yeah.
on repeat. So
Now we're getting this a little bit. Residual energy, is it there to remind us of the past? So history does not repeat itself?
no, I don't think so. I think you could look at it that way, and that would be a great way to look at it. I think it's there because the events were so traumatic and there was just so much emotion that it just kind of left an echo.
Okay.
That's my thoughts, because there are different kinds of residual energy, right?
Yeah.
Like different scenarios playing out.
I mean, I have people at work will tell me something like, oh, a lady was walking down the hallway. I'm like, anytime you feel something or see something, write it down.
Yeah.
Time, date, year, month, everything. Because it could only happen once a year. Or it can happen once a week. Sunday at 2:00. You don't know.
Write it down, daytime, week, what the weather's doing outside. Is it raining? I believe that humidity adds to the amount of energy in the air and makes it easier for things to happen.
Yeah.
Like a lot of, oh, sorry, cat.
Okay.
Humidity and rainy and wet weather.
No, I mean, it makes sense because a lot of people are like, thunderstorms created that energy.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
So I'm going to throw something at you. Bucket list. I always do this. One place, all paid. I'll give you 2 places that you can go to investigate.
2 places.
Yeah, I'll give you 2. Why not?
Gettysburg, I would really like to just see it. And let me think here. Actually, I would like to go back to Bacchus Mills where we were supposed to go. And then they shut us down, the board of directors, because that place has a lot of history. And yeah, I did see the spirit of a little girl there, and I want to find out what her story is. And they also have a cemetery, a family cemetery there that they've let get overgrown and everything. And I'd like to go douse the graves there and find them all.
All right. Besides Ontario, is there anywhere else in Canada that's kind of a, we'll say Ontario, Toronto? Is there any other like places
Quebec
that-
probably has a lot of places because it's was established, I guess you could say, colonized in the 1600s. But I guess, like you said, it doesn't actually go back. Another thing I would like to do in a town close here called Port Dover, they did have at one time the largest Great Lake fishing fleet. I have a friend who has a fishing tug there, and a lot of those tugs are 100 years old, and several of them have seen the bottom of the lake several times, and many people have been lost on them. I would love to investigate one of those fishing tugs.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't mind being on boats, but open water kind of freaks me out.
Yeah. It would just be docked. It wouldn't even have to.
I know the energy of the spirits there, of the fear.
Yeah.
Of going out.
And there's a huge history of fishermen losing their lives. There's a big memorial and everything. I would love to investigate one of those boats. Like, yeah.
That would be cool. So, I mean.
Or the Queen Mary in California.
Yeah, that's a big one. There you go.
I'm not sure if spirits are more active in the cold. I know I am not. But that's a me thing. So, yeah, we generally don't do a lot in the cold because we're getting up there and none of us, well, except some of us are getting up there and none of us are thrilled about being cold all the time. So, but I guess it's possible for sure that spirits could be active in the cold.
Yeah. So I've done Madison Cemetery many times. Like I said, it's very active when it's really cold.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah. I've done it in the summer, not so much. But I've done places where it's hot out, like uncomfortably hot out, very active. Done it when it's colder out, not so active.
We find too daytime versus nighttime. In some locations, daytime is way more active than nighttime for picking up EVPs and stuff. And because if you think about it, if it's a home, it was more active in the day. Yeah. So you pick up children's voices, you pick up all kinds of sounds and footsteps and things. So yeah, like summer versus winter, but daytime versus nighttime, some locations are just crazy busy in the daytime as well. And people don't seem to, find that.
I mean, down here, like schools are big to investigate. Yeah. So same concept, like schools in session during the day. So you would think it's more active during the day.
It would be, yeah.
Now churches might be different because kind of secret society stuff, like you said, back in the day.
Yeah.
What did they do there at night?
Exactly. Yeah.
I don't want to know, to be honest.
Depends on the church, but generally no.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call that one a no. Yeah.
So being a medium, protection wise, like do you what do you do to protect yourself to make sure that nothing follows you home? Obviously, you're a medium, so that's
Mhm.
probably going to try to go home with you. But is there something you or your group does beforehand?
I kind of like put a blanket protection over us. And if I find anything negative, what I will do, and this is going to sound absolutely crazy, but I find it works, is I just picture myself inside a disco ball. So the dark energy sees itself and is repelled by it.
Okay.
But we also will do things like if we're in a cemetery when we're leaving, we'll wipe our feet on the grass, ground ourselves, I'll do a calling in of guardians, things like that, if I feel like there's anything really negative. It's a fine line. You got to protect yourself, but you also don't want to repel all the spirits at the same time. So they still
we had a group.
talking to you.
We had a group on before that they did a whole bunch of protection spells, and someone finally said, "You're doing all this protection spells before you go in. Are you like bouncing off the spirits?"
Right?
So yeah, I guess it is a fine line. I don't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
I believe my faith, my belief,
Yeah.
my positive energy is good enough. And I'm also a big believer that I work 60 hours a week, and no one wants to live this life. So they will last about a day with me and be like, "I'm going back to the poorhouse." So,
Right.
that's interesting. Do you guys believe in crystals or any of that stuff?
I do. I'm not like a huge believer in crystals, but I do carry some. I have luckily a neighborhood crystal store on the res where he's got like a whole warehouse. So when I'm feeling down, I go over there and just walk through it. It makes me feel better. But they're not for everybody, but I do believe in some protection from them, or even I have some crystals that help with communication. I actually have a bracelet that I bought because somebody where I work was an energy vampire. And it was freaky because I didn't know who it was. I had an idea and I'm like, yeah, I'm just going to protect myself. And as soon as I bought this bracelet, it stopped. But I don't think they knew they were either, right? Like I would just feel exhausted around this person, just exhausted for no reason.
And you had no idea who they were. You just figured that you knew something was going on.
Yeah. And then I kind of figured out who it was, but I think this person didn't know they were either. So
Yeah.
they didn't know.
We'll go into this right now. Do you think the belief of the crystal or the belief of whatever protection is more powerful than actually its protection itself?
Absolutely. It's like a talisman of any kind, right? Like wearing a cross, like anything, absolutely. It helps.
All right. That's because I'm a big believer in beliefs.
Yeah.
That's just
yeah.
way I am. A lot of people some of my group do the crystal thing, do the sage thing, and I'm fine with it. Like, as long as you don't sage me, I'm good. I don't want to come home smelling. It's just, but if that's what you believe that works, I think it's going to work as long as you believe it. To me, saging won't work for me because I don't believe it does anything.
I believe saging has to be done by somebody who, like, I don't believe just anybody can sage, which everybody wants. Oh, I want to sage. I want to sage. I don't believe that. I believe you have to know the roots of why they do it and who does it. And a shaman can sage and probably get the results you want, or somebody indigenous who has done that. But I'm not going to even bother because, I don't know.
Yeah.
I've heard of people trapping spirits in their houses by saging wrong,
little bit about that because there's a thing that came up a couple months ago. Someone went into a known paranormal hotspot and they released the spirits, freedom. Most places say do not try to cross over spirits. Are you a believer in that? Like if you were at a spot here, you actually have to sign a waiver, like you will not sage, you will not put holy water, and try to release the spirits, make them free because that's their business.
Yeah, that's a sticky wicket because I have released spirits because they've asked me to.
Yeah.
And generally, before we go to investigate a location and there's a spirit there that wants to be released, I generally connect with them before. There was one spirit I was connecting with for a couple of weeks before we went, and then we released the spirit. Yeah, that's a tough one because honestly, I can't say that I wouldn't, because would you not help a person if they ask for your help? Like I can't say I wouldn't do that because that's just kind of cruel.
It is, and it's a hard, like, I don't think it's that hard. Like if someone's asking for your help, you're gonna help.
Yeah.
But then you can't go to the owner of that building saying, hey, let's just say Mary wants to be released, freed. Can I help free her?
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, what if they say no?
At what point, though, Mary is not his possession?
You possess the building, you don't possess the spirit.
You don't possess it's a person. You can't. It's like saying Mary is a person and she's gonna live here forever because I'm making money on it. That's just wrong, I guess. That would be my take on it anyway, right?
No, that's my thought on it. I think that's just cruel.
They wouldn't even know. I wouldn't tell them.
Yeah. I mean, that's the best thing to do. It's like, you're free and let's keep this hush hush, go on,
I'm sure there are other spirits in here who don't.
Yeah.
And once the spirit is released, they can come back and go. Like once they've been crossed over, they're not stuck anymore. So they can come back and forth freely again if they wish. Most of them do not wish because they were stuck and it's been horrible, but
yeah. All right. One more question. It's always on my mind. Try to word this right here.
Okay.
All right. So people have beliefs. Some people don't have beliefs. Heaven, hell, afterlife.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think some people are trapped here because they don't know where to go? Because they did not have that belief of heaven, hell.
That's
because their energy has nowhere to go.
You know what? It's a possibility. I mean, it could be one reason why they're trapped here. It could be a reason because they're afraid of judgment. It could be, I can't say yes or no to that. I think it depends on the individual.
I mean, there's no judgment because they don't believe in it, right? I mean, that's the hard part. I always wonder, because what are we actually seeing? These spirit wise, is it because they had no belief in heaven, hell, or an afterlife? So when their energy disperses, they're just here.
Would they still retain their consciousness?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's an interesting question, though. There are some people who are trapped because of their beliefs. So it's quite possible.
Yeah. All right. So I'm always asking, have you ever done table tipping?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll throw this question up there. She's all about this table tipping.
Yes, we do table tipping. The Victorian events, table tipping was a huge thing that they did. We do crystal balls. I do tarot readings. We do mirror scrying, which is really fun. A lot of people get really freaked out with that. We do like a yes, no coin toss, all kinds of things. Anything the Victorians would have done, we do that for some of our investigations. Like we go all old school sometimes, or we'll do one with just the equipment and no old school. But people went nuts for the Victorian paranormal investigations. They absolutely loved it.
So was table tipping Victorian then? Is that where it started?
That's where it started. Yeah.
Okay.
Queen Victoria, when Prince Albert died, she was determined to get in touch with his spirit. She was grieving and invited a lot of mediums and things into the palace. And that's where a lot of this stuff and the weird photography, you know, that with the whatchamacallit stuff, and a lot of that came out of the Victorian era. They were really into this, like really into it.
No, that's cool. I didn't know where the history came from. I know table tipping is getting a little more popular in the United States. I know Almay's getting into it pretty good. I think they bought a table. I'm not sure. I don't know. It's like Ouija boards. I'm like, I'll try it. I mean,
I've tried it. I've never really got the table to move. I could feel the energy, but I hadn't got the table. The table didn't move, but I could feel it starting to swirl. But like if it's something fun that people can try, and a lot of this stuff, and I tell people too when we do the public paranormal investigations, we tell people just do voice recording on your cell phones. Everybody has a cell phone. You don't need like all this expensive equipment, right?
Yeah.
Just make sure you listen back with earbuds because you pick stuff up that you don't hear, you know?
Yeah. I mean, digital recorders are my favorite.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I always carry. I am terrible at taking pictures. I'm terrible at video cameraing because I always forget about it. I just love my recorder.
We have recorded the cameras. We just set on tripods and let them run. And we also do have K2 meters, of course.
Okay.
Interesting. Sometimes they're interesting. Sometimes they're not. Like we can show people how on the shows you can set off REM pods and K2 meters with a walkie-talkie.
Yeah.
And a lot of people on these shows have walkie-talkies. So are they just editing in the K2 or the REM pod going off with the walkie-talkie? I don't know.
I mean, a lot of these shows are about, views.
Yeah.
Kind of like TikTok now, Facebook, everything is all about views. And I think people stretch the truth a little bit.
I think so too. Yeah.
I'm not saying it's all fake. I think they might just stretch the truth just a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, get those views. So
yeah, and the drama, we heard a noise, we're freaking.
Yeah.
That's the one thing I tell the public. I said, okay, if something goes off, we don't run screaming out the other way. We go and see what it is.
Yeah. I am terrible at that because I try to get into TikTok and all that. And I'm like, I have friends that are very energetic, like, oh my God, there's a noise. Yeah. Or, oh, did you see that shadow? And I'm like, I'm going to do that. I can't do that. Yeah. I'm just like,
no, I can't either.
Yeah, cool. There's a shadow over there. Or,
yeah.
Do you hear that? That's the type of guy I am, but there's a lot of people that are good at it. And again, there was a noise. I'm just not jumping out of my chair, but they are.
Yeah.
And it does make good videos. I'm not going to knock them for that.
No, it does. Absolutely. But we're more of the investigate first.
Yeah. Are mirror portals?
No.
Thank you.
We do. I do mirror scrying, and I show the public how to do it, and it's interesting because I believe that they're not a way for a spirit to come through. You can see things in them, but they're not a portal.
Do you think they're just showing you what you are supposed to see? Like mirror scrying, I always thought maybe that's who you're talking to. Like they're showing themselves.
Yeah, there's a particular mirror at the Cottonwood Mansion, and its former owner always turns your face into his face. And It's really weird because I'm looking in this mirror, and I'm like, wow, I've got a beard now. Oh, that's nice. It's funny because everybody who looks and does that, even the public who are learning, they see the same thing in this mirror. And I'm like, is it because that was his dressing mirror? That he looked in every day to shave himself or do whatever. I don't know. He's never said anything. He just turns my face into his, which is funny.
Yeah, we did mirror scrying at OSR And they got Alma and Craig and Aaron got. I don't think Craig got anything, but Aaron got kind of the same lady.
Mhm.
I've done it a few times in my, life. This is the first time like my face turned into a cat.
That's wild.
Yeah, like from here up would start disappearing. Then you see the nose and the eyes. And I shook off it 3 times in the same image every time. Like
That's
not a Black Panther, but a big cat. And I don't know because I hate ghost cats. I don't like ghost cats. I don't know if that was the reason. Like I will mess with anything, but a ghost cat, I'm out. Like,
Is it your biggest fear?
yeah, I don't believe in ghost cats. I got a picture of a ghost cat once,
Oh, wow.
and I'm like, I'm gonna look this up, and it's a Chinese thing, and it means evil.
Oh, really?
So I was like, no, I'm not messing with ghost cats no more. Like I'm done.
That's funny. Our other meeting. Do you think you need to cleanse and protect your mirror? I don't. I don't need to, but it depends on the person doing it, I guess, and what their beliefs are. I don't need to. It's a piece of glass. It's, I don't really
How
cleanse
about
it.
tarot? How about tarot cards?
Okay.
People cleanse their tarot cards.
Yeah. I don't. I'm the world's worst medium. What are you talking about? No. No, because I keep them in a special cloth, and I figure when I'm not using them, they're wrapped up in this cloth. So, and
Okay.
they don't contain any energy in and of themselves. I just use them as an interpretation tool. So I don't see them as containing energy themselves.
No, it makes sense to me. But, anybody else got any questions? I mean, we're hour 16 minutes into this thing right now. So if you haven't noticed, she has a lot of birds in her house too. So
Yeah, sorry.
no, it's fine. Does your cat ever bother the birds?
No, I've got a cockatoo, and he's nasty. He bit everything the first day we had him here, all the dogs, all the cats, and asserted his dominance. So they know better.
No. Alma says she never cleanses her equipment either after an investigation. I never do. So,
No, we don't either, really.
What is the weirdest? I don't want to say weirdest, but you like dowsing rods. Is there anybody else that like more modern technology in your group?
Everybody uses dowsing rods, and they can all use dowsing rods. And my daughter and Carrie, the other lady, really love pendulums. So the thing I like about dowsing rods, we do half and half. Like we do, like Judy likes the recorders, she likes cameras, she likes the digital stuff, the REM pods and all that. But I like the dowsing rod because it's portable. Like I take it with me. I get instant answers when I ask questions. I can find things, so it's really interesting. And I guess that's why the other ladies like the pendulums too. They get the answers instantly to their questions. You don't have to listen back to them, kind of thing.
Yeah. It's a direct yes, no,
Yeah.
whatever you want. I mean, again, I used to be into dowsing rods. I kind of got away from them because you got all this other new equipment that you spent boatloads of money on and you want to use. But
Yeah.
I would like to get back into like old school, more old school type investigation, like dowsing rods. I'd never used a pendulum before.
I'm too shaky. I can't hold it. I can't hold it still to begin with. I have tried and I'm like, yeah, this is hopeless. I can't. But it's funny when my daughter uses one, instead of doing this, the middle of the chain starts going. It is so weird.
Odd. Yeah.
She gets such an energy from it.
Do you guys use cat balls?
Yep, absolutely.
Okay.
Cat balls. We have a music box motion sensor. We have the little teddy bear thing that lights up.
The
Yeah,
Boo Bear.
really technical here. Yeah, the Boo Bear, the Boo Buddy. Yes, very technical.
Yeah.
The little teddy bear. But also, there's a room in this mansion that's a nursery, and we'll put like a little tin car in there and things, and then train a camera on it and see if anybody plays with stuff like that.
Well, oh man, always bring up her stuff. The dead belt.
Yes. We've never got. Yes, and we also do like sleigh bells as well.
Okay.
Sleigh bells. We have picked up sleigh bells on recording before, on a door handle, and there was nobody in the room.
And we'll end this on kind of this note here a little bit, but I mean, I love the different equipment, modern, traditional, because you never know what you're going to get.
That's right.
I mean, if traditional is not working, you go to modern. Modern might spark something where traditional is going to work. I think you kind of need all that equipment.
Oh, I agree. And sometimes you can draw the spirits in with the traditional stuff and then go to the modern equipment and get responses and sounds and things. So yeah, it's nice to have both, really.
Now, a lot of people do paranormal because they want to find answers about the afterlife. Connect to the spirits. How close do you think we are? Because we are evolving. I believe, getting closer. I don't think we're close at all. But do you think we are coming closer as a society, trying to find answers?
I think we are, because we're getting more of an acceptance to it. As soon as people open their minds, more answers will happen. And I think that is starting to become a thing. Like, I also think that there's so much we don't know about anything like this. Like, we're just not even touching the teeniest tip of the biggest iceberg, a molecule of ice, with what we find.
No, I think we're in the right direction.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think groups like you and Al May and most of the groups out there are doing it right. They're proving to a lot of non-believers, because I think they're believers. They just think old school, like, why are you messing with them? Why are you messing with dark stuff, demonic stuff? And I think we're going toward, like, these are just spirits.
Yeah, there's no demonic.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And isn't that like human nature, to always seek answers? Haven't we gotten to where we are today as a society by always questioning, always reaching out, always,
Yeah.
Just of that, I believe.
Most people are scared of the unknown.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, and I tell everybody that, like, they're like, there's a spirit in my house. Well, say hi. Maybe that's all it wants. You just want to be heard. I believe 99% of spirits are just nice spirits that want to be heard, want their story told.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think we're going in the right direction.
I think so too. And I tell people who are afraid, I said, well, did you ask them to stop? If you're afraid, did you say, can you please not do that?
Yeah.
No, I never thought of that. Well, just try it.
Yeah, it's not that hard.
No, it isn't.
Again, I appreciate you coming on.
Thank you.
I broke the Canadian border, so it was good. I'm hoping you guys keep investigating. You guys have a YouTube channel, or just do Facebook, or?
I think we're just on Facebook right now.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think we have YouTube. I don't know. I'm not the tech person, so I just do what I'm told. No. No. Yeah, I think we're just on Facebook right now. Some of our evidence has been posted onto YouTube by Cottonwood Mansion. Our video we picked up there, and it has gotten a ton of views. So that's quite an interesting video if you want to look that up. But yeah, we're just a little team. Like, we can't believe we're doing podcasts and all this stuff. when we started.
No, I mean, I love talking to teams from all over. I mean, it's the little teams that matter. That's what we make up. It's the big teams that start letting it go to their head, I guess you
Yeah.
want to call it, and they think there's something more than they're not.
We just want to have fun. We want to investigate. We want to teach people about it, what we do,
Yeah. And create some memories along the way.
Yeah.
So again, it was nice hearing about Canada. It was nice hearing what you do. We kind of went on your mediumship most of the show here, but that always intrigues me. But I appreciate it, and tell your team I said hi.
I will do that. And thank you very much for having me on. It was great talking.
No problem. And anytime, just drop me a line. The other team wants to come on and talk, I'm game for that too. So
Awesome.
I appreciate it. Follow, I always forget, Spirit Hunters Ontario on Facebook. And what was the name of that place that post your stuff? Cottonwood Mansion. I'll throw that in the comments when I post this. Let me make sure. All right. Well, I appreciate it. Take care, and hopefully stay warm sooner or later.
Yeah, you as well. Have a great evening. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right. Bye.
Bye.